This is Lacy Robertson, the hardest working woman in mortgage and real estate nationwide, and I'm here to bring you this week's report of California companies that will be laying off a significant amount of workforce where we received and processed their notice between March 27th and April 2nd. Now, I know before I ask you to like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel, you're probably wondering, what does sharing layoff information have to do with mortgage and real estate? Well, I'm glad you asked. It was many, many years ago. I was getting ready to purchase a piece of property. I was super excited. I was getting ready to get a new property. The seller was excited. They were getting ready to get the proceeds from the sale of their property. I had signed loan documents. And I go back to work hours later and I find out that myself and 399 people were getting laid off that day. No warning, no nothing. You can only imagine what was going on through my mind. Okay. I was like, this loan can't fund. I cannot buy this house. I don't have a job. So thankfully, I was able to unravel the transaction. But look, I got bad news for you. I didn't get my money back from my deposit. I spent money on a home inspection, a pest inspection. I paid for an appraisal. Like that money, I didn't get back. Thankfully, the loan didn't fund because I didn't have a job, and they usually just within 5 days, usually they will verify to make sure you are still employed, right? And so I was able to fax them over the paperwork. Yes, I said fax because we hardly fax these days. Most of the stuff we just email now, right? But I was able to let them know I didn't have a job, so the loan didn't fund, and I'm glad because I don't know how I would have been able to, pay that mortgage without stressing and all of that. So I'm grateful for that. But look, I didn't get my money back. So there's two reasons why I share this information. One, I want you to think about, what would you do differently if there was a possibility that you might get laid off? Like, would you not go on that shopping spree? Would you not go on that lavish vacation? Would you dust off your resume and update it and put some fillers out there? Would you start that new business? Would you write that new book? Like, what would you do differently if there was a possibility that you might get laid off? So I want to save you in that regard. No, I don't have the names of employees being laid off, but at least you'll know if your industry or your company, more specifically, is laying off. The second thing I want you to know is you don't have to lose your job just because you have a loss of income or you're facing a financial hardship. I don't care if that hardship is due to a death, divorce, illness, injury, layoff, or natural disaster. There are options available. But guess what? They're not automatic. You got to pick up the phone and dial 714-914-7254. I've literally been helping clients for years lower their mortgage payment, make it more affordable so they don't have to exhaust all their savings trying to make the mortgage payment each month. So before I share this information with you, I would like to share what I was able to do for one of my clients because, of course, you know it. I can show you better than I can tell you. Okay. There's nothing like seeing a successful story. And so I want to share this with you, taking you over to my Facebook. Feel free to follow me on all social media platforms at Go Lacy Robertson. That's Lacy without an E and Robertson with a T. Okay. So over here, you'll see that this person, their previous mortgage payment was $3,488.66. It did include principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. I turned around, they called me, they had a financial hardship. I turned around and got them a mortgage payment of $2,767.54. That still included principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. They got a modified interest rate. It was fixed. Their interest rate previously was 6%. I was able to get it fixed at 4.75%. Can you say your girl know what she's doing? Yeah, she know what she's doing. So I was able to save this homeowner $721.12 per month. That's $8,653.44 a month. Did you hear what I said? I saved this client over $700 a month. Now, I ask you, would that help you? If you were able to save $100, $200, $300, $700 on your mortgage, would that make a difference for you? Well, if so, I need you to give me a call. Again, that's 714-914-7254. So, as you know, I promised that I would give you this week's companies where we received and processed their notice between March 27th and April 2nd. California companies that will be laying off a significant amount of workforce. Now, I'm going to give you the name of the company. I'm going to give you the date they're laying off. I'm going to let you know if that layoff is permanent, if it's temporary, if it's a closure. I'm going to give you those details. I'm going to let you know how many and the location. I'm going to provide this information in alphabetical order. Okay. So if I pass the letter that your company starts with, and you've been kind of hearing stuff, you've seen maybe something in the news, or there's kind of whispers around the office and you're not so sure, I want you to go back, look at some of the other videos. Okay. Because I may have already mentioned your company in a past video. Because as you know, if you've been following me and if you are new to the channel, I drop this long form video every Monday at 5 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So let's get started. Here we go. May 17th, All for Kids is laying off permanently 66 people at 515 Cabrillo Park Drive, Suite 100 in Santa Ana. On June 2nd, Ardent Mills LLC is closing permanently. They're laying off 28 people at 1200 Putnam Avenue in Yuba City. May 24th, Block Inc. is laying off permanently 240 people at 1955 Broadway, Suite 600 in Oakland. You have May 30th, Brinker International Payroll Company LP is closing permanently. They're laying off 115 people at the Woodland Hills Maggiano at 6100 Topanga Canyon Boulevard, Woodland Hills, and obviously that's in California. June 1st, Cali Nail Market Inc. is closing permanently. They're laying off 59 people at 638 West Southern Avenue in Orange. June 1st, Cali Nail Market Inc. is closing permanently, laying off 12 people at 10517 Garden Grove Boulevard in Garden Grove. June 1st, Chevron is laying off permanently 600 people at 5001 Executive Parkway, Suite 200 in San Ramon. May 30th, Classic Beverage of Southern California is closing permanently, laying off 221 people at 120 Puente Avenue in La Puente. May 30th, Classic Beverage of Southern California is closing permanently, laying off 55 people at 7825 Trade Street, Suite 100 in San Diego. April 16th, Cross Hall Healthcare is laying off permanently 55 people at 800 South Main Street in Corona. May 27th, Gilead Sciences is laying off permanently 149 people at 333 Lakeside Drive in Foster City. You have June 2nd, Impact Bio USA is a subsidiary of Lyell Immunopharma Inc. is closing permanently, laying off 73 people at 8501 Fallbrook Avenue, number 200 in Canoga Park. April 14th, Memorial Care, laying off permanently 60 people at 2801 Atlantic Avenue in Long Beach. You have June 27th, Novartis Pharmaceuticals Corporation is closing permanently, laying off one person at 10210 Campus Point Drive, number 350 in San Diego. You have May 4th, Redemption Restaurants, also known as Chick-fil-A, is closing temporarily. This is temporarily, so this is not permanent. 65 people will be affected at 732 West Rancho Vista Boulevard in Palmdale. You have May 31st, Robert Kaufman Company Inc. is closing permanently, laying off 4 people at 129 West 132nd Street in Los Angeles. May 31st, Robert Kaufman Company, Inc. is closing permanently, laying off 4 people at 135 West 132nd Street in Los Angeles. You have May 28th, Roche Molecular Systems, Inc. is laying off permanently 108 people at 2881 Scott Boulevard in Santa Clara. You have May 30th, Saint S. Saint Distributing Company, LLC is closing permanently, laying off 190 people at 7485 Flores Street in Downey. You have May 30th, Saint Distributing Company, LLC is closing permanently, laying off 180 people at 505 South Pacific Street in San Marcos. Last, certainly not least, May 31st, Trans Dev Services Inc. is laying off permanently 48 people at 3333 South Market Street in Redding, California. Now, that's the end of this week's list of California companies that will be laying off a significant amount of workforce where we received and processed their notice between March 27th and April 2nd. I want you to know, if you've experienced a loss of income due to a death, divorce, illness, injury, or layoff, there are options available. They're not automatic. You got to raise your hand. You got to give me a call. I've been helping clients for years lower their mortgage payment, make it more affordable so they don't have to exhaust all their savings trying to make the mortgage payment each month. I'm all things mortgage and real estate related. So whether you want to save your house, whether you want to sell it, whether you want to finance, and of course, like I told you, when life gives you lemons and things are not going as planned and you're getting laid off or experience a financial hardship, I help you make lemonade and make sure you avoid foreclosure by any means necessary. So make sure you contact me at 714-914-7254. I want to make sure you follow me on all social media platforms. That's Go Lacy Robertson. That's Lacy without an E and Robertson with a T. All of this information is in the description. So make sure you read that if you missed something, or feel free to rewind. I've rewound, if that's a word, videos before because I want to catch what they said again. So make sure you can do that as well. So I'm Lacy Robertson, the hardest working woman in mortgage and real estate nationwide. I look forward to working with you and for you. And until then, have a blessed day.